Hello, Wolverines. On the next few slides, we're going to take a closer look at the BYOD policies here at Windsor Knowles Middle School. Your new administrative team wanted to make sure every single student was clear on our expectations of appropriately using BYOD. This year, you will see new BYOD signs and a few changes to when and where you can use your device. So first, a closer look. Any non-educational use of BYOD is prohibited. Even though you use your device independently at home for many purposes, BYOD does not mean that you suddenly get to do that here at school because you have your device in your hand. That means there's no texting, no personal emails, no music streaming like Pandora, no social media like Instagram or Snapchat is allowed here at school. Only use your device with the FCPS wireless network. Even though you have the capability of using your 3G or 4G service, you are not allowed to use that service. You should always use the FCPS filtered guest network. In case you missed, any non-educational use of technology is prohibited, which means absolutely no photos, videos, or internet browsing unless it is for a specific teacher-directed activity or assignment. In other words, you may not take pictures or videos without teacher direction. So you're probably asking, well, what can we do with the network? Well, you may use it as directed by your teacher to complete online activities for class, collaborate on real-time research projects, access websites that are curriculum related, keep track of your classroom assignments. You can check your grades using Hack. You can access Google Classroom, Google Drive, or any other educational activity that your teacher assigns. And remember, after each one of these examples, add the phrase as directed by your teacher, because even if you were doing one of these activities, you could still get in trouble if it was not directed by your classroom teacher. Remember, BYOD is not a requirement. It is an option for you to bring your own tools to use appropriately in your class if you want to, and your teacher wants you to. FCPS does not provide or require applications or software for personally owned devices. You will not be required to buy anything new or download any paid apps to use your device here at Windsor Knowles Middle School. It is recommended that devices come to school with a full charge. The school is not responsible for providing any opportunity or the necessary power to charge students' devices during the school day. If your device is not charged, then you will not be able to use it until you take it home and charge it. Remember, FCPS is not responsible for lost or stolen devices. Lock your devices in your locker when they're not in use. It is your responsibility to keep your own device safe. Again, FCPS is not responsible for the theft or damage of your own personal electronic device. So know your zones. This is a new sign you will see this year, and it is a good reference for you to know your zone, which means device use is permitted in some places here at Windsor Knowles Middle School, but not others. To help you think about whether or not you should have a device out, look for these posters. And always and anywhere you see the word use, it must be appropriate use. So our first zone is the red zone. The red zone is a device-free zone. No devices at any point are allowed. Red zone signs will be posted in areas such as restrooms, locker rooms, stairwells, and hallways. At no point in a red zone should your own personal device be out. The next zone is the yellow zone or restricted use zone. In the yellow zone, devices are allowed at teacher discretion for classroom purposes. Yellow zone signs will be posted in areas such as classrooms, media center, and in labs. Finally, the green zone or open use zone. In the green zone, device use is less restricted. Students may use devices in the green zone for appropriate recreational use, such as e-reading, apps, and games. Green zone posters will be posted in the cafeteria for lunchtime use and during morning holding area. While in these green zone areas, all BYOD rules still apply, which prohibits streaming, taking pictures, taking videos, and especially there are still no social networking in green zone areas. As stated in the FCPS regulations, student possession and use of electronic devices on school property and at school-sponsored events on and off campus is a privilege, not a right. School system staff reserves the right to revoke your privileges associated with its use. Students found to be in violation of this regulation are subject to disciplinary action in accordance with FCPS Regulation 400-8 and acceptable use of digital networks and online resources in accordance with FCPS Regulation 400-73. So, school system personnel reserves the right to revoke your privileges associated with the misuse of any of the following conditions. If you disrupt the learning environment or approved school activity, if you pose a threat to academic integrity, if you violate confidentiality or privacy rights of others during the school day, as well as after school activities, or the safe transportation of students, if you photograph or videotape without teacher permission, if you electronic devices with cameras and recording functions may not be used to take or transfer anything, any image, or any recording at any time on school premises without staff permission. And lastly, privileges could be revoked if you create safety concerns, violate criminal laws, or use your device without staff permission. So if there is a violation to the BYOD rules, what happens? If you don't follow the rules, you may not be able to use your device for an activity. Your device may be taken away from you for the day by administration, and you might have to pick it up at the end of the school day. Your device may be taken away by administration, and your parents will have to come and pick it up. Or you may lose your device privileges for an extended period of time, or possibly altogether. So now that we have discussed all the rules, we're ready to take off on a positive way of implementing and appropriately following BYOD this school year. And remember, if you are ever unclear on the when and where BYOD is permitted, look for a sign or ask an adult. Next week, we will start implementing the green zone areas. So at lunch and morning holding area, you will be permitted to use your own device while following all of the BYOD rules, and you must be signed into the FCPS wireless network. We're excited to implement these rules with you. If you're ever unsure of when and where you can and cannot use your device, look for a sign and ask your teacher. BYOD offers us an unlimited number of experiences and opportunities, but with both also comes increased responsibilities. So remember to be sure to be your best when implementing the BYOD rules here at Windsor Knolls Middle School.